going to be a small one in the middle and then 6 that side. So I'm going to get that done, and we'll do this on a time lapse. It might get a bit boring for you guys as it's been a pretty long video. So yeah, sit back guys, watch these next couple of seconds of me applying the actuators to the model. And there you go guys, we have sped through that part of this issue. Nice and flush in that little hole there, and the socket, the power socket rubber bunging is okay and sufficient where it is. Now we're just going to set. So I've got hold of some pen light batteries. I've checked all the wirings in right. Now is the moment of truth. Now what should happen here? It says press button A. Snapped off part of it in there, but the thing is, it wasn't doing nothing. Let me show you one more time. Hang on. So we just turn it on here. You can hear it clicking, not doing nothing. Put the lights on. Hey all, welcome back to the channel Witch43. Hope you're doing good guys, hope you're well. Today I'm building more of the Millennium Falcon, double issue again. So I'm doing 57 and 58. In this pack guys, pack 13, you get a free binder again, another binder. I think I've got 3, 4, maybe 5 of these now. So you put about 20 magazines in each binder, and that's the deal of having the subscription. You get one every certain amount of issues, and if you're doing a premium subscription to this build, at the end of it, hopefully it still stands, you should get some sort of stand, like a TV mount. It looks like what will go on the wall, and then you can put this Millennium Falcon onto that mount. And just a quick one before we carry on guys, I've had an email yesterday saying congratulations, I am now a VIP member for completing this build. We all know I haven't completed it yet, but that's telling you I have got now, coming tomorrow, the last pack basically. So I've got all 100 issues, 58 obviously with today, which are these 2 mags as you can see. So I'm up to stages 57, 58. So after today, let me work out quick maths, there's 42 more issues and this build is done and dusted. So as I've finished this build, well I say finished, but I had finished the deliveries coming in and I've just got them all stored down here. There is a new build coming guys. Not going to give you any clues or anything like that. You're just going to have to wait and see what that new build is. If you want to have a guess, comment down below, give me some guesses of what you think I'm bringing to the channel next. But that should be coming within a minimum of a month. It all depends how quick Fanhome get this new build to me. But I thought I might as well continue doing the building of what money was going out for this build basically, so this may as well get another build for the channel and obviously for me to get done. But that's enough talking anyway guys. If you're not already subscribed, remember subscribe, like, also comment, share, press that bell notification. You'll always be notified every time I put something up on the channel. So without further ado guys, let's crack on with the Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. From Fanhome. Here's the binder. I'm not going to bother putting that on the video today guys, how to put that up. I've done it on a number of occasions, self-explanatory. But yeah, there's the pretty cool sleeve, they call it I think now, not a binder, but here, old school, it's still a binder. And then we've got the parts here, which we'll take a look through in a sec. First of all, let's get cracking on. and take a look through the first magazine of issue 57. So here we go. Take a quick browse through, and then we'll get the parts, see what we've got, and then get this thing built, get building. Right, so as you can see, in today's issue, this is what we've got. So I'm going to get those parts over, and we'll go through as we look at them. So let's just cut these out. Careful not to cut the wires there. Right, so we've got a circuit board, which is very interesting. Happy about that. Got this little thing here. Yeah, so we've got wiring also just there. Pretty cool. So let's quickly have a browse at the instructions. Yeah, first of all, we're going to be installing the circuit board, fitting the power socket. Oh, that's what that little rubber bung thing was for, look. Yeah. And then we're going to be connecting the wiring and also testing the ramp. Exciting. So let's crack on. Sit back, relax, guys, and enjoy issue 57 of the Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. Okay then, guys, so installing the circuit board is the first thing we're doing in this issue, and we've got 3 instructions. Basically, instruction 1 is telling you to find these 4 raised pins sticking up, and then on the diagram I've got here, what I want to do is place that over those 4 holes like that, and then we've got to get instruction 3 4 of these silver self-tapping screws and get this screwed in. Just don't go too hard with these guys, because it might very well break your circuit board, and you don't want to do that. So just go to your feel and get tight, and then I would stop there, don't over tighten them. That should be enough. And then we've just got to screw 2 more in. This is exciting, guys. We're going to actually have some electrics on this today, and I'm going to be testing them out. So yeah, as I say, just tighten those, not too tight, but tight enough so the circuit board's not going to move about. It's just fine, as you can see. So that looks fine to me. Yeah, it's nice and tight. And now what we've got to do is turn the model over and start fitting the power socket. Guys, we've got to take this little rubber thing, which I wasn't sure what it was at the beginning of the video, and we need to feed that through the hole, like so, and then that will just fit on there in a minute once we turn it back over. So that's how that's going to go. But now we've got to turn the model back over and screw that little circular thing on the rubber thing inside so it doesn't fall away, if that makes sense. So we'll turn it over, we'll get that done. So as you can see there, it's nice and flush in that little hole there. Rubber bunging is okay and sufficient where it is. Now we've just got a self-tap screw. Now that shouldn't theoretically come off that raised bit, and you'll be able to open and close that as need be. And that takes us all the way to instruction 4 of fitting the power socket. Now we've got to move on to instruction 5 and 6, and now we're going to be putting some wiring in. Now guys, for instruction 5 and 6, we've got to get the, as you can see, this is going to be the electric point here, I think, where you can plug your mains in from the wall. What we're going to do is just place that over there to those 2 raised columns, where we're going to put 2 long self-tapping screws in. So I've just got 2 out my pillbox. Now we're going to screw that into place. Now I think it's going to be the longer ones, to be fair. So it looks to me like the long gold self-tapping screws to reach into that thread. See how we get on. Feels like this is the one. Yeah, that's going just nice. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Yep, we'll get that twice, and then we'll move on to the next part of this week's first half of the video of issue 57. Okay, now, so we're connecting the wiring, guys. First of all, it's asking us to take the red and black wire, and this one has got to go in. Let me just look and double check into this one here. You want to get this right, or it's not going to work, guys. So turn that way around. Carefully just push that into the circuit board. That's that one in. And then, secondly, we've got to put this one next to it, which is the red, green, and black. This takes us all the way to instruction. Basically, 6 instructions here, guys, and that's all about putting these wires in. So let's just put this one in there. That's that one done. And then lastly, we've got this multicolored blue, yellow, black, green, white, and red. That has to go in that one there. So let's put that in there. Be very careful not to push too hard on the model. So we've got a lot of plant and details on the other side. We don't want to damage anything, but yeah, that's all that circuit wiring. And then what we're going to do then is take the other part of the model, and we've got to put the 2 white wire connector into that circuit board there. So guys, just a little bit of a correction there. It's a bit confusing because you've got black and red wires here. Basically, this socket, the first 2 sockets we put in, should be the battery pack. So that goes into there, and then you've got the mains coming from the actual ramp, which goes into that 2-hole socket there. But everything else was right, what I did first time. So we've got to find now some 4 AA penlight batteries. So I'm going to go and get the batteries, guys, and we'll test this, see if it's working. Okay then, guys, so I've got hold of some penlight batteries. I've checked all the wirings in right. Now is the moment of truth. Now what should happen here, it says press button A, which is that one there, and that should make it all work. Button B is going to be used to test the lights, which is saying they're not connected as yet, but I think that's the lights around the Millennium Falcon. So I'm going to turn it on. Now theoretically, let's just turn this around a little bit. The ramp should lift up and down. We have nothing as yet, so let's press this. Oh, hang on. So we've got lights, but the ramp's not working. Right, so what's going on there? It's trying to do something, but it's just not working. So let's just turn it off. And it does say in the instructions that you may have a faulty board if everything's not working. Well, I've got the motor working, the lights are working, but for some reason it's not lifting the ramp up. So I'll leave that there for now, guys. That was testing the ramp and it was not successful. But what I'll do is contact customer services and see if they can help me out, get me either a new map for the ramp, or I'll just check see if that's connected right before I do that, or it might be down to the circuit board. But this happens with model building, guys. It's not always straightforward. But anyway, this is the first part of the video over. Issue 57. We're going to crack on and move on to 58. Now, guys, I don't know what to do. The ramp is not working and it's gone into a bit of a disaster. You can see there the ramp's down, but this part here snapped off, part of it in there. But the thing is, it wasn't doing nothing. Let me show you one more time. Hang on. So we just turn it on here. You can hear it clicking, not doing nothing. Put the lights on. It wasn't even lifting it up when that part was on. I don't know, I might just suck it up and just leave it, and at least it lights up. And when it's on the ceiling where it's going to be, at least it'll light up. It just means the ramp won't lift up on its own. I'd have to do it myself and pull it down, but I think it might just be not worth looking into it, because I think I might have to take all the motor off. That might not be in good condition, it might not be lifting how it should be. But I just thought I'd share that with you before we move on to the next issue 58. Bit annoying, but it's one of them with model building guys, but it's not the end of the world. But I'll keep you updated if I do change my mind and try and get that done. So let's crack on with issue 58. Okay then guys, so moving on to issue 58, feeling a bit deflated from the ramp, but as I say, it happens with model building guys. Whether I'm going to contact Fanhome, see if we can get a new motor for the ramp, I'll have to decide that. But back to this issue now, the second part of the video. This is looking like what we've got in this pack. So I'm going to get this open and we'll take a look what we've got. But this is looking like what we're doing. We're going to be adding plant on details to, looks like some of the parts we've already got from a few issues ago. At the end of this video, this double issue and this issue guys, that is where we're looking at and what we'll be looking at with all the plant on details. So let's get the parts over. Yeah, it'll probably bug me that much. I will end up calling up Fanhome and getting a new part. Because it'll bug me, it's not working, so it'll have to be sorted. Anything else after this. So I think what I'll end up doing is getting a new part for it, probably free of charge. I would have thought, guys, they're usually pretty good, and we'll get it fitted and hopefully it'll get working. So guys, these are the parts we've got in this issue. We've got some framework, which we're not going to be needing that today, and we've got this sprue with all these little plant on details. We're going to be needing that, and also we've got a few black screws, self-tap silver screws, but I think, and connectors. All we're going to be needing is these 4 pieces today guys. So first of all, what it says to do is take this part here, I think. But what I'll do is I'll lay them out and show you the parts we've got. Like that. That's how I've got it in the diagram here. And of course I've got to use my sprue cutters, which I'm very excited about. But this is especially for this build guys. And what it says to do is, first of all, in instruction 1, take this part, this wheel looking thing, off the sprue. So if I just cut that off, and we'll see where we've got to put this. Again, as usual guys, as always, if there's any rough edges, just get you a nail file or something, or you can pick it off with your nails and make it nice and smooth like that. Now what it's telling us to do then is, basically on the instructions guys, you've got numbers, and the numbers are pointing to where you've got to put on these each of these pieces, so it's very, very self-explanatory. So if I just move these out of the way, and the first piece we're putting on is going to be in there like so. Now this has got like a D shape, and you can see that line there, so we're only going one way, so we'll drive it there. That's how it's going to look. So just got to get my glue, put a little bit of glue in there. Should be enough, and then pop that in there like that. There we go. Just hold that for a few seconds. Now this glue, I think, is, this glue can go off. It looks a bit jellified, so I'm not sure if it's going to do the trick, to be fair, but I will see. I've got some more if not. It might just take a bit longer to dry because it's very jellified, as I say. So what I might do is just get my new glue I've got here and use this one. So yeah, that was instruction 1 guys, and 2, we just basically put this piece of the sprue on. Now it's telling us to take piece number 2 off the sprue to this part here. These 3/4 are so cool though guys, as you can see. That's a really good cut. I ain't even got to file that down. And where we're going to put it on the instructions, it's telling us to put it in these two holes here. So what I'll do is do a dry fit. That's looking good to me. Can only go on one way really, because we've got that bit lifted up, and that's going to go in the arch there. So I'll just get a bit of glue on those pins, and we'll get that stuck on. Takes a while for this to come out the first time. You've always got to watch it don't squirt out all of it at once. There we go, here it comes. There's it. Put a little bit on each pin. And carefully just turn that over. Push into those two holes, like so. Give that a minute to dry. And that's how that's looking so far. At the end of instruction 3. Now, for instruction 4, it's telling us to take hold of the D-shaped hole of number 3. So that is going to be this part here. Just put that over a sec, get this cut off. Yep, but I've got every issue now from tomorrow all been delivered to me. It's just down to me, guys, to bring this to the channel and get it completed and get it all built. So if I bring this part back over again you can see there's like a D shape on there, that little piece. Where it's telling us to put it is in that hole there. So if I just put a bit of glue on there. Like so. And of course put it in the shape of the D, the way it's facing, and it should go in pretty simple, like that. Give that a couple of minutes to dry. If that's how it's looking so far. At the end of instruction 4. Now instruction 5, we're going to take part 4 of the sprue, which is this square piece looking thing. There we go, that's that done. And then this, do dry fit first, it's going to be slotted in there like that. Very simple, guys, but it doesn't half pop. For some reason, when you're putting these pieces on, they just make the model pop, which is what they're supposed to be doing, I suppose, when they designed this build. But yeah, as this build is all paid for and done, just waiting to be put together, there will be a new build coming very soon. Just keep an eye for that on the channel, and if you press your bell notification, you'll always get notified when something comes on the channel. Well, yeah, that is instruction 5 done. Now for instruction 6, we've got to take off number 5, which is here. I've got to do this careful because it's very delicate and little. I don't want to snap it with the sprues. You can see all the sprue is empty now. And this is number 5. So number 5 has got to go, turn that way around. It's basically going here. You've got like a little slot there and a hole there. So it's got to be just pushed into that bit. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue. I'll carefully just put that in that position. Give it a few, see it does come back out if you don't give it time to dry. Trust me, this glue is pretty good. It usually doesn't take long to dry into position. Just make sure that's in the right place. Yeah, that's looking good to me. That's how that's looking. Like that. Pretty cool. Look at that, guys. Look at the detail. Brilliant. So just turn that way around. That's how that's looking. Love it. Now we've got to bring this part over, guys. And we're going to be cutting number 6, which will go into that piece there. So just carefully cut that off. Maybe a little bit of excess there, so I'll cut a bit more off that. Brilliant. And a little dry fit, guys. That'll just fit in there like so. You can see you've got like a little lip there. It's very, very easy, guys. It's therapeutic. It's not hard in one bit to do this build. It can be fiddly. It's not really mega hard. So apply a little bit of glue. Drop that in there. Carefully move your finger away from it once in position, and that will dry nicely within seconds. And that is all the way to instruction 9 done. Now instruction 10, what it's telling us to do now is take off number 7, which is this part here. We'll take that off and get that attached. So just cut those off. And you've guessed it by looking, they're going in those 2 holes there. And again, look, if you look, it can only go in one way. It fits perfectly. Love it. So let's put a bit of glue on here again. There we go. And carefully just pop that on top into the 2 holes. Don't want to find it. There we go. Got that in the end. And again, wait for that to dry. And then we'll move on. But while that's doing that, what we'll do now is take this piece, another piece, and it's telling us to take this part here, put that into that slot there. So I do apologise in the background if you can hear people talking. It is now, as I'm filming, 10 to 11 at night. And I don't know what's going on outside, but you can hear people talking, and I'm not sure if it's picking it up on camera, on the mic. Hopefully not. But sorry if you can hear any talking in the background. Right, so it's saying now which way this fits. So basically you've got to have this little arrow pointing upwards. And you can see that's how that's going to slot in there, like that. So I'll put a little bit of glue on that. It's been a fun issue this, but a bit low really because of the ramp not working. But as I said, it's not the end of the world. I'll sort it. Whether I leave it and just have the lights working, or I ask for a replacement motor, and fingers crossed that might be working a lot better. So yeah, that's the end of instruction 11. That's how that's looking. And now for instruction 12, we've got to fit now these 2 parts together. So that's slot into place like that. Look at that. Love it. So that's how that's looking. And that piece there, they're only slotted together, guys, so they're not going to be joined forever at the minute. So if you can see a gap, you wonder why the gap is there. I don't think it's, no, it's just the corridor top that isn't. It's not saying to put glue on. It says do not put glue on. It's just a dry fit basically. So yeah, that's how that's looking. And that is it for this week's double issue, guys, from millenniumfalcon from Fanhome. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. See you soon. And that is it for this time, guys, for the millenniumfalcon from Fanhome. I do hope you enjoyed it. Remember to give us a big like. Would really appreciate that. And if you haven't done already, subscribe for more. Press that bell notification. You'll always be notified every time I put this build up on the channel. Today was a pretty cool issue. 2 issues, should I say. We've done circuit board, messing with electrics, and also we've put some plant on details. So it's been a pretty busy issue, and also we've seen the mechanism of the ramp working. Brilliant. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to try and get as many of these issues out as I can. I know it's a bit hit and miss at the minute how many I'm doing a week. I'm trying it through the editing, etc. I don't want to get the violins out. I'm going to try and do more builds out on the videos, guys, so you can keep watching every week. But this is ready to be finished now. All I've got to do is get my arse in gear and get it up on the channel, get them built, and this could be done whenever I feel fit to do it. As from tomorrow when I get the last pack, I've got every issue to get this completed, guys, so that's got to push me into doing that. But thanks for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Take care. See you later. Peace.